All right, so today we're going to be installing the LASFIT H11-9005 LED bulb combo for the 2023 Chevy Colorado. We're going to be replacing those two halogen bulbs with these LEDs. This is a really nice set from LASFIT. I'll get the back here in case you're wanting to get one up yourself. It's normally $99 on Amazon. They do have a $20 coupon right now, so I was able to get this for $80, but it does come with these cute little gloves on top here, little instruction product manual, and then it's going to have your bulbs. They do look really similar, but you'll see one of them's got a slightly smaller gasket, and then if you actually look inside, you'll see that the two clips that are the two prongs in there are actually different distances apart, so you can't actually put them in the wrong slot. But I'll go ahead and show you where each one of them goes and what we're gonna have to do to actually get these into the truck. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the bright or the high beam here. I've already done the right side if you're looking at the front of the truck, so I'm gonna show you the left side. Everything's pretty much the same, just reverse. This one's actually gonna be the easiest. All you gotta do is reach in there. You'll see the bulb, reach in here. That would be the, that's your turn signal light. But you're gonna reach in here. It's a little bit tight, but you can definitely get your hand in there. You're just gonna grab that bulb and rotate it to the left, and then you're just going to pull it straight out and you'll be able to see your bulb there. Just to compare, so you can see in this one, it's got that smaller rubber gasket. So for our LASFIT bulbs over here, we're going to go with the one that's got the smaller gasket instead of the larger gasket, and it's got the prongs a little bit further away. Now let's see if I can get this in view here. So really easy to get this clip off. All you're going to do is there's a little pull pin on the back here. You're going to pull that towards you, and you're just going to pull, okay, I say easy, pull that, and the bulb should slip relatively easily out. There is no way to put this in backwards. Only one way it goes in. This little bump right there is going to go right there where the clip then goes over. Some people said it's a little bit easier for them if they put the bulb in and then the clip. I don't think it really matters either way, but you're going to stick the bulb down here and into that opening. Once it's in the opening, just rotate it a little bit left. You'll be able to kind of feel around until those grooves slide into that hole. Once it feels like it's about to bite, you're just going to rotate the bulb back to the right. Maybe if I get them in there correctly. Sorry, the other side was a little bit easier. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, I'm sorry. So good thing to point out, make sure that you've got this going the correct way. The big piece and the big piece and the little piece and the little piece. If it doesn't feel right, then it's not right. The cord should be going down. The cord's going down, in, then we should. There we go. And then a rotation straight down. So then that just clicks in just like that there. You should be able to tug on it and feel that it's a nice firm fit in there. Now moving on to the headlight, this one's a little bit more challenging. It's all the way over here in the left, and it's actually in the fender well. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see through here, but there's a little black box, and I can almost get my hand in here and be able to actually turn it. So I think if you had a little bit smaller of a hand, you could get in there and actually be able to turn. I don't know if I can get the GoPro in there deep enough that you can see what's going on. But you'd be able to turn that little box and be able to do the bulb from the top. My hands are way too big. I can't do it. So what we're actually gonna do is we're just gonna remove a couple of these guys here, and then we'll have an access through the fender. I removed a lot more on the other side. You don't need to remove them all. One thing that I would probably do that I didn't do is I'd turn your tire to give you a little bit more room here, because the drill for like this one doesn't really fit. If you're too lazy like me to move your tire, you just get one of these guys, stick your drill bit in there, and you can still obviously remove it just as easily this way. Maybe not just as easily, but relatively easily. All right, so once you get those removed, you're able to kind of peel this this back a little bit. So what you're gonna see right there, and I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it. You know what, let me grab a light. I'll be right back. All right, so once you get this peeled back, what you're gonna be able to see right there, that's actually your fog light. I haven't looked into replacing those with LEDs. Looks like it'd be pretty easy to do. It's just a little clip there. But if you come up here, you're gonna see there's a, let's see if I can get the GoPro in there. There's a cap that I know it's real tough to see in there. Can't quite get it up. You can see the bottom of it right there. That's what you're gonna reach up and grab. It's just a little cap, a little quarter turn to the left will get it out. I'll show you once I get it out what it looks like here. All right, so once you get it out, this is what that cap looks like. And I don't know why, and just in case you're looking up there, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, this one was a whole lot harder to get out than the one on the other side. And you can see I tried sticking a screwdriver up there and moving it. There's really not a lot of room to get like a pair of pliers or turn it, but all it is just these seals and these little clips. So it really doesn't have to turn that far. But what I found was the reason the other side was easier is because I just gotten done running the truck, so the headlight was still warmed up. There was enough warm air in there that it actually kind of pushed this out, where today is a pretty cold day after the truck had been sitting a while. It kind of created a seal in the headlight that was just sucking this in. So even though I'd turned it far enough, even though it might not have felt like it, that was the reason it wasn't coming out. So if you're having a hard time getting this off, don't try and force it. Don't keep banging it around. Just turn your headlights on, let them sit there for a while and heat up, and this cap will be able to pull off. I'll go ahead and see if you can see the back of the headlight. Let's see if I can get the GoPro up in there with the light. Not sure how well you can actually see it. You can see that opening there. You'll see some wires in there in the headlight. I can also show you from the top side here, if you can see in there. Now that we've got that opening opened up a little bit, and I really can't. Doesn't look like you can see too much on the GoPro, but anyways, you'll reach up there. It looks pretty identical to the one that we did earlier. You're just going to rotate that to the left, and hopefully it's not super hot, but we'll reach our hand back up there, and it is a little warm, which is what those gloves are probably for. The nice thing about this one is there's a lot of wire kind of coiled up in there. So if you can, actually, one thing that might make it a little bit easier, I'll show you too, is if you look inside the headlight lens there, you can actually see, and this is going to be helpful when you go to put it back in, you can actually see those little prongs and where they line up. So when you're pulling it out, you just line those up with the holes, and then you're able to just pull. Ooh, that is really hot. You're able to pull straight back, and then the bulb will just, ouch, really hot. Then the bulb will just drop down here. I'm gonna go in the truck and cut those off so I can show you how to get the clip off, but the bulb will just drop down there, and it's an easy clip from there. All right, give myself a nice little knuckle burn there because somebody was being an idiot. So we're gonna go ahead and use these nice gloves that, you know, Last Foot gave to us. All right, so this clip is a little different than the top one where it just lifts up and pulls off. And I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see there, but there's a little tab. And all you do is take your thumb and you just push that tab in. So I think it's easier to do with two hands, but instead of pulling out, it's a push in. When you push that in, your light will slide right out, and you can see it's got the two prongs that are a little bit closer. Same thing on our last fit bulb here, two prongs are a little bit closer. This actually was a little tougher to slide in than the other ones, so you want to make sure that you're sliding it all the way in there until you see where that little push clip is. You want to make sure that goes over the bump and is actually latched in. You can try and pull it out and make sure that it can't pull out. And then when you're putting this back up in there, it's really tough to see, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it on the GoPro, but you want to make sure that you're keeping all of those wires kind of coiled up inside of the housing. That way when you go to put your black cover back on, you don't have to worry about those. I would test it to make sure before you put it in. Just remember, if you turn it on, it's going to be hot, so wait for it to cool off, or if you're in a rush, just throw these gloves on. And then again, if you look up here, you can see there's different size prongs, or the little things that stick out, whatever you want to call those, that this will only go in one way. So if you're looking through, I don't know how well you can actually see that, but if you're looking through the actual lens here, you'll try and line those up as best you can. Then once they're lined up, it's a simple quarter turn in the correct direction, which for this side is going to be to your left, and then that's nice and locked in there. Then you're just going to take your cover plate, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to reach up and feel around until you, well, feel around and make sure all the wires are inside that housing, and then you'll be able to just turn. And again, I apologize you can't see, but you'll be able to feel as you slowly turn this until those four little prongs on the back are in their respective holes. And then you're just going to give that a nice quarter turn until it stops. Going in is a lot easier than coming out. And then yeah, and then the last little piece of business is just going to be pinning this all back up. I would put the old bulbs back in the box and just save them. I mean, you never know when you might need them. Leave them in your truck in case for a rainy day, or if these go out or something like that. LEDs are supposed to last longer, but I'm hoping at least that they don't end up actually outlasting my truck. My star might be a little stripped, but you guys get the idea. I'm gonna have to go grab a different head because those are stripping out, but you guys get the idea. You're just gonna put these back in, just make sure everything lines up there. I only took 5 out. If y'all ended up taking more out because you wanted more room, then you're gonna put those back in. All right, so I'll kind of get you a look here in the daylight of the full array. That kind of shows you the switchbacks we put in, the high beams, the low beams. I'll do a quick switch on and off here, and then later tonight I'll run the same path I ran earlier with the halogens, so you can get a kind of side-by-side comparison of what they actually look like on the road. So overall, I think they're phenomenally better. Thanks for watching.